There's a record that speaks for itself. The only defeats have come in world title fights against Jorge Vaca, against Mark Greenland, and against Marlon Starling. One of those fights, Barry McGuigan, but it's just too close to call.
Yeah, this is a genuine take-your-pick fight. Both guys are at the end of their career. This is a crossroads fight for both of them. So they both want to win this. They both have prepared extremely hard. In particular, I know that Honeyghan has been away for months for this one, and he wants to win this. He's coming at 10-12, and he feels ready for it. I believe Hughes has trained equally as hard, trained very, very hard indeed. So this is a genuine take-your-pick fight. What it boils down to, in my opinion, is Honeyghan has actually been to the very top, whereas Hughes hasn't. So let's hear it.
Both boys in the ring. Let's hear from our MC tonight, Alan Hughes.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the Brentwood International Hall for an evening of international championship boxing promoted by Matchroom and sponsored by the Daily Mirror and Sunday Mirror newspapers. A very special welcome right now goes to all our viewers on Screen Sport in the British Isles with David Brenner and Barry McGuigan, Sport Canal in Germany and Switzerland, Sportnet in Holland and Belgium, and TV Sport in France. All your officials this evening are appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your steward in charge, Ozzie Ross, and the area representative is Bernard Buckley. Your matchmaker for the evening is Frank Turner. Ladies and gentlemen, this Matchroom promoted event is a light middleweight contest with a match made at 11 stone over 12 3-minute rounds for the light middleweight championship of the Commonwealth. Your referee for the contest is Dave Paris, your timekeeper Lou Hubbard. Presenting in the red corner with the black shorts, with 40 wins from 43 contests, 27 inside the distance, the former undisputed welterweight champion of the world and challenger for the title, Lloyd Honeyghan! And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with the blue shorts, with 24 wins from 29 contests, 21 inside the distance, the reigning Commonwealth light middleweight champion, Mickey Hughes! At the weigh-in today, Lloyd Honeyghan scale 10 stone 12, Mickey Hughes 10 stone 13 pound and 10 ounces.
Well, so many imponderables about this fight. Both used to be stablemates when they were under Terry Lawless, and Mickey Hughes reckons that when they used to spar together as welterweights, Lloyd Honeyghan took the odd liberty or two that he shouldn't have. Mickey Hughes thinks he has a point to prove, as well as a title to defend. A lot at stake, in addition to pride. 12 rounds. The referee is Dave Paris. Honeyghan in black, Hughes in blue.
Yeah, Honeyghan, he's really put himself down to weight this time. He weighs 10-12 in this fight, so it's lighter than he's been for some time. I know he's been away for months because he was a part of the Professional Boxers Association steering committee and he wasn't able to attend meetings. He put so much importance in this fight. Mickey Hughes, I've been told, that has really got himself into shape and has been preparing long and hard for this one.
Well, Honeyghan has been up in Peterborough with his new trainer Kevin Sanders and sparring with Sean Cummins, which was good sparring to have.
Yes, indeed. Having said that, he's different in style to Mickey Hughes. Mickey Hughes is more static and more of a big hitter than Cummins, certainly at welterweight. I'm not so sure at light middleweight. We'll wait and see. I mean, what Honeyghan's going to do is he's going to try and land that right hand in particular. You can actually see him set it up there. Look, just watch him pop that left hand. He's cocked that right hand, waiting to fire it. Hughes is just keeping his hands tucked up nice and tight. Mickey has always been guilty of catching probably his fair share of punches, maybe too many at times, but he's got that lethal left hook and right hand. when he gets into punching range, nobody can stay with him if he hits him on the money.
Yes, he's one of the very few fighters, Mickey Hughes, who can take you out with one shot from either hand, and genuine knockouts as well.
No question about that.
And both men showing a healthy respect for each other in this opening session. Honeyghan very, very focused.
Yeah, Honeyghan in his last number of fights, he slowed down. His sort of general reflexes haven't been the same. He's a bigger guy now. He's let himself blow out to late middleweight. He's had trouble making welterweight for some time. And I know that he slowed down. His reflexes are not as good. And he wants to fight more. And that could be his undoing against Mickey Hughes. But having said that, he's been knocking him over certainly at domestic level.
Well, the reports coming out of the Honeyghan gym were he was looking awesome. Hughes, we know, we've seen him several times on Pro Box. It's Honeyghan's debut on Pro Box. Hughes, we know his faults, we know his good points.
Hughes is just sort of sizing him up. Honeyghan is staying just outside Hughes' punching distance. But this is very much a feeling out round.
Yes, a nice opening session from two very experienced professional boxers. So the Honeyghan corner getting to work. As I said, he's got a new trainer, Kevin Sanders. Ironically, over the other side of the ring, looking after Mickey Hughes, is Dean Powell. And you can see Dean in the back of his head there. Now, Dean has looked after, there's Dean right in the middle. Dean has looked after Lloyd Honeyghan on a couple of previous occasions, so he knows Mickey Hughes' opponent inside out. And that's a good corner team to have. Jimmy Tibbs, Dean Sanders, Dean Powell, and Peter DeFreitas.
Yeah, that was very much a feeling out round. Nothing. No emphasis on that round at all. It's as if both the guys imagine it's going to be a long fight. So,
and it could be scheduled for 12. Remember.
Round 2.
Honeyghan's got the Hector Camacho style boxing trunks. Well, watch for things to hot up in this round. The first one to take liberties. The other one will respond immediately, you can rest assured. Hughes landed a good solid left hook at short distance there. He's really working his way in, just keeping very methodical, head down, not showing anything at all, and just working his way in close.
Honeyghan's eyes just widened momentarily when that left hook went in. It wasn't a particularly solid shot, but if he was in any doubt about Hughes' power, he will not be any longer.
A good solid jab from Honeyghan. Honeyghan's got to try and just move a little bit more. If he thinks he can stay with Hughes at this stage in the fight, it's a mistake. His best tactic would be to, good right hand and left hook. Having said that, his best tactic is to keep on the bike, move around, throw fast combinations, and then quick bursts of combination punches, and then keep on his bike until maybe halfway through the fight, if it goes that far. But pride is there's a lot of pride at stake here, and these guys will want to start getting down into the trenches and trading punches with one another.
Yes, it has been said, and quite rightly, it's very difficult to see where the loser of this particular contest would go. They're both at the twilight of their careers, perhaps, and Honeyghan in particular will not see 30 again.
Oh, good left hook from Hughes, right on the borderline, and rightly warned by Dave Paris to keep him up.
Good round this for the challenger.
Yeah, a couple of good shots landed. I mean, in the early part of the round, Hughes hit him with a good left hook, but he's been picking him off quite well from a distance here. But we're used to seeing Hughes pick up punches in the early rounds. In fact, pick up quite a lot of them. And he'd be quite content just to stay in punching range here, with the chance of landing one of those bombs that he has. he's working on Honeyghan's body with that left hook, chopping the body in, and Honeyghan's getting the elbow in, but not every one of them are actually hitting him on the elbow. Some of them are getting through there.
Remember, Honeyghan has fought at a much, much higher level than Hughes.
Well, that's the thing that keeps popping up in my mind. I've gone over the tactics in this fight on a number of occasions. You've got to see that Honeyghan's reached right to the top and Hughes hasn't reached that far.
Well, we're with Mickey Hughes now. Remember, we saw him win the title against Craig Trotter. That was his last fight in September last year.
Yeah, a couple of good combinations here by, there's a real quality right hand and a left hook afterwards from Honeyghan, and he got his hands tucked in nice and tight into his solar plexus there to fend off any counters. Got the shots off quite quick and didn't hang around then to admire his work.
With Lloyd Honeyghan now, of course, achieved one of the great performances of all time by a British boxer when he went to Atlantic City in September of 1986 and defeated the great Don Curry to win the undisputed world welterweight title. Fabulous performance. Now campaigning at the 11 stone mark, light middleweight, junior middleweight.
Honeyghan looking to keep Hughes off him with straight punches, quick threatening with punches and then landing a few of them, but he's picking his shots quite well, Honeyghan. His hands are quite quick.
Looking sharp.
Looking sharp, sharper than I've seen him in his comeback. Looks drawn at the weight too, which is good. Means he's worked hard to get down. I know he walks around at 11.5 stone, so to come down to, or he walks around at 11 stone 10, so to come down to 11 or 10 stone 12 is taking a bit of work, and he's come down slowly, and that's the right way to do it. Take it down slowly. And as the fight's going on here, I see he's becoming a bit more assertive. He's getting his punches off ever so quickly. And his moves are just a little bit sharper than Hughes at the moment.
And Hughes, as always, dogged. One pace, that's perhaps his biggest fault.
Yeah, he's never been able to snap up a gear and been able to step the pace up. He's always got that power, but he's a wee bit predictable. You can see his punches coming, and you know, a cute fighter just watches them like Boucher done and just picked him apart for 12 rounds.
And now cut open on the bridge of Hughes' nose. We're in round 3. And this is super round for the challenger, Lloyd Honeyghan.
Yeah, he's just that much quicker, Honeyghan, and he's now not afraid to stand with Hughes. Just get his shots off and just pull back out of distance. Hughes' problem has always been that he's just a fraction too slow in getting his shots off, and he gets picked off from a distance.
And he's also never been the greatest starter in the world either. But we know with Hughes there'll be no stamina problems. Went 12 to beat Craig Trotter.
That's correct.
Excellent round for Lloyd Honeyghan. We'll take a break, back in a moment. And welcome back. David Brenner, Barry McGuigan with you. Live at ringside at Brentwood.
Yeah, we're getting a little glimpse of a particularly good round by Lloyd Honeyghan. Jabbed and moved and boxed particularly well in that round. Didn't pick up any shots at all. Let's see, can he pick it up from now? We thought that Mickey Hughes was cut. In fact, he's not cut. There's an abrasion across the nose, but he's not cut.
Well, the early exchange is definitely Lloyd Honeyghan's. Hughes needs to pick the pace up a little bit.
Yeah.
His own pace, that is, because Honeyghan set off like a train.
Yeah, he's always had the problem of getting the shots off quicker. He's got to get the shots off quicker than he has been doing. He's just not doing that. If he wants to win this fight, he's got to get his shots off just marginally quicker. That's better from him there, but he's got just to match Honeyghan with his speed. When he starts throwing, just throw with him and mix with him, because he's never had great finesse. He's got to actually stay in punching range, just start banging and hope to hit the target.
But we know that Gary Jacobs boxed rings round Mickey Hughes for 8 rounds and then got knocked out with a devastating left hook.
Agreed, but Hughes has had a lot of hard fights since that, and they each sort of pick away at you and tear away at you, and just tear away in particular at your punch resistance and your general freshness. Honeyghan's tucking up on the inside there, using his experience, bobbing and weaving, getting his hands up and down, moving up and down, switching around and getting out of there good and quick. Hughes has just got to get his punches off marginally quicker. Instead of throwing one punch, he should be throwing 3 and 4. That good left hook.
Good body shots.
Good left hook.
Honeyghan momentarily right above us. Hughes comes boring in again.
Good left hook again.
And these body shots from Hughes might well pay dividends in the latter stages of this contest.
Yeah, and you can see Honeyghan's concerned about him getting the elbows tucked down.
Dave Paris warning him about hitting round the back in the kidneys.
But that's what he's got to do. He's got to get close to Honeyghan, close down the distance, nullify Honeyghan's best asset, which is keeping him at distance, and just bang away at his solar plexus. Even if he's hitting him in the arms, bang away and then switch over the top and he'll hit something. But he's better on the inside than Honeyghan is. That's where his power is going to pay dividends.
I think in a pure contest of strength, my money would have to be on Hughes. This is a better round for the champion.
No doubt about that. Yeah, he's fighting much better on the inside, but he's got to keep it up. Got to keep the distance very close.
Good round. Not for Honeyghan, but for Mickey Hughes. And
Yeah,
my God,
that's Hughes' round. No doubt about that. And maybe he's found the little niche there, the thing that he needs to do to win this fight.
well, we saw against Craig Trotter. Suddenly, in the latter stages of the fight, he switched from the incoming brawling style to a classic left jab, and that really what won him this Commonwealth title.
Now watch him working on that left hook in particular really got Honeyghan very concerned about those body shots. Tucked the elbow, pulled it right back down in to watch them body shots again. This is near the end of the round again, banging away at that, trying to get in there. And what it's doing, if nothing else, is keeping Honeyghan confused and keeping him occupied with defense rather than offense.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 6.
Round 5, in fact. Let's just clear that up. This is round 5 of this scheduled 12-rounder.
Hughes just pouring the pressure on here, getting in close, shifting his weight forward. He's mixing that right hand in as well. And Honeyghan has got to step a gear up here and just get back to his boxing. Good left hook.
And that has just split Hughes' nose wide open.
Oh, hit him with this.
Oh, my goodness.
The dreadful foot. It seems like he's hit an artery. The blood is pumping out of that foot.
That's it. I'm sure that's it. That was just like opening a well.
No, that's it over.
That's it. It's all over. What a sudden end. That was just like a rotten fruit dropping onto concrete. One or two scattered boos. Let's take another look.
Yeah, this is it was a long left hook. Watch the way it landed here. He actually hit him half with his thumb. Watch, as a bump, hit him with his thumb and his fist right on the button, and that blood just started pumping out right away. Dreadful cut.
Well, never, surely, can a title fight in a British ring have ended in quite such dramatic fashion. So, at the age of 32, Lloyd Honeyghan once again is a champion. Another look at this stunning stoppage. Bang!
Right on the button there, right on the bridge
The nose
of the nose.
unzipped.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has stopped the contest in the 1 minute of round 5. Mickey Hughes has sustained a cut nose. The winner and the new Commonwealth Middleweight champion, Lloyd Honeyghan.
So Honeyghan's career takes on a new lease of life. As for Mickey Hughes, well, the end of that fight was so sudden, so unexpected. Just as he was getting back into the contest too. That is boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, as he leaves the ring, your sympathetic appreciation for Mickey Hughes.
Well, the obligatory shots for the back pages. While that goes on, what we'll do is take a short break now. We'll come back with a lightweight contest. Bobby Guinan against Sean Shinkwin. We'll be back with that in just a moment. Welcome back. David Brenner, Barry McGuigan with you live at ringside here in Brentwood. The crowd still buzzing over the manner of the abrupt ending of that last contest. Lloyd Honeyghan just breaking Mickey Hughes' heart, smashing his nose. Let's take another look at this, Barry.
Yeah, this was the right miss with the right hand, followed through with all his weight on the left hook. Whatever way that, I think there was a slight nick on the nose anyway. You were right in the early rounds when you thought you saw a bit of blood, but watch this left hook, boom, right on the bridge of the nose, and watch the way the blood just poured out like a well, like opening up a well, and that was the end of the fight, and possibly the end of Mickey Hughes' career.
Well, he'll certainly be out of the ring for a good 3-4 months while that injury heals. As to what happens next, well, I tell you, Honeyghan will be in no hurry at all for a rematch.